Alright, so now we're ready to begin the cutting. We're going to cut all on the floor here where it has been taped. We're also going to get the fixtures, cutting around the fixtures, cutting along the floor, and the fixture cutting along the heater, in the corner there, along another heater, and some more fixtures. And then we're going to move up and we're going to cut along the seam there. We're going to cut the corners. We're going to cut along the seam here. We're going to cut along this seam and corner. We're going to cut along here. We're going to cut along here. And then we're going to cut there. Maybe not in the exact order. And then we're going to go halfway in the middle of the room. And we're going to cut the ceiling all the way along. So we have quite a bit of cutting to do in a large space. But when that's done, then all we'll have left to do is to use the roller. And then we'll get done what we can get done. And by the time this is over, half the room will be done and half the room will be left to do in a similar manner. And we are going to paint this section here with the wall paint because it's not the pure ceiling itself. It's, you might consider it part of the wall, but a lower wall ceiling. And the same goes with this. Similar to what we had here earlier, the closet that I didn't show you, but this little section here was painted with the wall paint. But the actual ceiling was left untouched. Okay. Oops. Gotta watch where you step. Sometimes when you're painting things in buildings or apartments or houses that are still being worked on, you have to be careful to not bump into things that could hurt you. For instance, here's something that's broken and I just ran into it and I could have hurt myself. So you want to watch out for little booby traps that you might find. Alrighty then. Shall we get to it? I think so. Now, here's a screw that was left on the floor when someone else had taken the plates off. This is a valuable screw because every plate needs its screw. So we'll put this back in the box so it won't be lost. Lucky I found that. So we're going to begin the cutting process. Here we go. I don't think a drop cloth is necessary because you have the tape acting as a ground cloth of sorts for the little section that you're going to be using it for the trim. What I'm going to be doing is using the cutting brush to do the trim, and then slightly above the trim, say the width of the brush, or a little more, for the roller to be able to go up and down on the wall, and yet not have to touch and come all the way down to the trim itself. So if the roller comes down to about this length right here, this far above the trim, that's fine. Okay, we'll start that process in a minute.